Sup, YouTube? This is Big D and Shade,
Yo.
and we are back for our monthly catch-up for June of 2015.
Woohoo! I guess I shall continue with one of my last ones I was talking about before, which is Assassination Classroom. Um, is I'm so sad that it's getting close to the end. We're like, I think, 3 episodes till the end now at this point? I'm like, no! So much cool things happen. I want to know more. But it's about to end, so... But anyone out there, this is a really good series. It's highly entertaining. I have a lot of fun with it. It's just, every time a new episode's come on, I'm like immediately dropping whatever I got to do, and I'm like, nope, we're watching it. This is happening because it's just so cool. I mean, they're getting to the point now where they're getting really close to being able to kill him.
Okay.
He just kind of keeps pulling out these last minute saves, and. I mean, right now, the episodes I'm on, too, is there's a huge crisis going on between the whole classroom. Somebody poisoned a bunch of people, and now all these kids who have been training to be assassins are having to assault a fortified installation of a human, as far as we know, and actually go head-to-head with actual assassins.
Ah.
So it is very cool and very interesting. It's almost like they even just kind of went... Yeah, we're going to leave the alien to the side for now. He's fine. We're not going to deal with him. We want to do his other stuff first, so.
Okay. Sounds like a cool segue rather than just filler.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's pretty much, I don't think they're really going to be able to do much after they finish with what they're doing right now, so I'm a little curious exactly, are they going to do a second season, or are they just going to wrap it up and say, hey, we're done, or, do one of those anime just last minute being like, oh, look, everything's done. The end. Which I hope not, because it would be such a detriment to the series, but,
Yeah.
these things happen.
Okay. I'm going to have to catch back up on that one.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You're the redheaded boy that you liked from the beginning. Like, right now, where it's at, he is playing a huge role. I mean, he always has his little, like, moments where he kind of butts in and just kind of makes a quote-unquote nuisance of himself, I guess you could say. But,
Yeah.
like, right now, it's just like he is taking center stage, and I'm just sitting here going, hey! So, we'll have to see how that turns out. But it's very interesting. I still have moments with that blue-haired boy.
Yeah.
I have to keep reminding myself that because I still have moments when I'm looking and going, girl, nope, that's a boy. It's a boy. Your head, it's a boy. It's a boy. It's a boy. So I'm just like,
Show that I am watching and I am keeping up with is Ore Monogatari or My Love Story.
I watched the first episode of that one. I watched the beginning. I might pick it up. It just seems interesting, but then again, it's a lot of those moments where I'm just sitting here like facepalm going, no, what are you doing? Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, so this one I like because most of the time they don't let stuff drag on. Like at the beginning, there was the person, or I guess the two people who like each other trying to get together, and they don't take the whole series to do that, which I loved. And so far right now they're doing relationship stuff, and usually there will be a misunderstanding that'll last like a couple of episodes and a whole bunch of unnecessary stuff happening because of that. But with this one, if there's something, like if you think there's something wrong, they kind of give you a hint about what it is. So you're like, it's either this thing that they hinted to or something completely different that I'm not even thinking about. And a lot of times it's something that I'm not predicting. So I'm loving this show. It's not predictable for the most part. Or if it is predictable, it's predictable in a good way. Not like, oh, they're just going to do this. It'd be like, oh, they did this, but they did it in a different way that I'm used to. So
yeah,
I'm really loving this show.
Well, I mean, and that's definitely something as far as like love stories and those slice of life animes things is that, some of them can just drag the heck on. You're like, come on, please, let's move on.
He's the guy.
Yeah, you got a little thing in your throat there? Don't worry, these things happen. These things happen, man. So
Yeah. So yeah, I highly recommend this show. I'm checking it out over on Crunchyroll, and I love it. It's a really, really good watch. Doesn't follow the mold mostly.
well, that's good.
So that's all I got for that one.
Well, I guess I'm up next, and my next one I have is Kekkai Sensen. And this one, I love it so much. It's such an awesome, interesting show. I mean, because it has a good amount of action in it, but the main character himself is not the focal point of that action.
Mm.
Because while, he can kind of do things on his own, he's still not necessarily, like, the best fighter in the world. So he relies a lot on the heavy-duty strength to be from his partners and everything.
Mm.
But his ability is so interesting and allows him to do so much. And the storyline itself, I mean, the setting is really cool to be in a world that's both filled with humans, but at the same time, you have all of these like monsters and creations just kind of living side by side with each other. One minute you could be, talking with just a regular person. Next thing you know, you have like this giant bug dude sitting next to you at a bar, and you're just like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
It's just the craziness. You're just like, you really don't know what to expect.
Mm.
And that's something I really appreciate in animes because, too often we fall into these tropes for animes, and you're just like, oh, this is going to happen, or, oh, here comes, the new rival of this, or this happened, like, but in this one, it's like you really don't know. And that's really just how awesome it is. I mean, the episode I just finished watching, like last time, one of the characters, his, I guess, sensei just shows up battling some other monster, and then the people who were with him had no idea that it was actually his teacher, and you look at him, you're like, is he even alive? Is that a person? But you're like, okay, that's the way it was, and it's just the abilities they use, and the storyline itself is really intriguing and really getting really cool. I mean, it's dealing with vampires, but they're using it in such a way that it's not necessarily overly done, I kind of feel. So, because, I mean, it's almost a vampires that are kind of undershadowed, and, they don't oversaturate the whole thing with it. So I'm really appreciating that aspect of it, because I think you and I have both watched way too many series where the freaking vampires are just like too much of a focal point. You're like, no, I want to see other things. I want to go other places.
Mm.
Get the vampires away. So it's really cool. I really appreciate all the anime in this. So just like he said for the last one, I highly recommend, if you're getting a little tired of the stereotypical anime aspects of things, by all means pick this one up and give it a watch, because wow, it is really cool.
Okay. Cool. So another show that I am watching is Plastic Memories.
Keep meaning to pick that one up. I really do.
Yep. This one is the one about androids, and they have a lifespan, and usually people purchase them, and then when the lifespan, which I found out was about like 81,000 plus hours, which I think is what.
I don't even want to try to do the math on my head on that one.
I did it because I think it was like 10 years or something like that I calculated, because of they're like, oh, this person only has this much left, and that's about a month. So I'm like, okay, that's a month. And so I'm like, 10 years. I can't remember. So because I'm thinking about 10 years, now I don't know. it kind of, I empathize with some of the characters even more because it's like you've had this person, like this android, with you for a decade almost, and now all of a sudden they're just gone. And in one of the later episodes, there was one character where she just keeps getting her android replaced. Like they'll just like she'll keep the same body, but they'll like refurbish it and then bring it back, and they lose all the memories and everything. So it's not the same person actually, but they look the same. So it was cool. There was a couple incidents where they had to deal with the memories being lost and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I really like those last couple episodes. I feel like at first they get you with things that everybody can relate to, like they pull out the empathy with that, and then now that you know the characters, now you're starting to see the relationships between the characters being pulled on and things affecting that. So, it's starting to get real emotional, especially like the last episode that I saw. So I'm pretty sure it's going to end in like 3 or 4 more episodes because of what's happening. So so far I've liked this one. It's really cool. I just like the whole dynamic between the characters.
It's always very hard to pull off a very emotional anime like that. So, I mean, to see one that's actually doing pretty well is just quite nice because some of them try really hard and kind of fall short. So, like I said, I keep trying to remember to pick that one back up, but...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd say.
There's too many, man. There's too many.
There is.
And we're about to hit new season 2, but there's too many.
Oh, my God.
And there's still, that's going to be transferring over from this season to next season, too.
Yeah. If Plastic Memories does, then I don't know what. There's some. I'm not even going to look. I don't want to see Plastic Memories be up there. Because if it is, then I'm like, oh, this whole situation that they're going through is just blah.
Well, yeah. Anyways, I know the next one I'm going to talk about is going to be transferring over into the next season because they still have another, I think, 12 eps to go through. So they're going to be running right into the next one. So, but the next one for me is Food Wars. I cannot help but really, really like this anime. It's really cool. I've gotten into the habit, though, as much as I really want to pick it up and watch it every time a new episode comes out. I think I'm going to start getting into the habit of waiting for 2 eps.
Yeah.
Which I don't normally do. Usually I'm like, just screw it. Let me watch the next episode and be good with it. But this one, they seem to like to do one of those, here's a problem. We're going to go through and like amplify the problem in this first episode. And then we'll solve the problem on the next episode.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's like it's like a rival cooking thing every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And the first ep is always his opponent and their amazing and fantastic job of doing something. Yeah. And then the next ep is always him showing up the other person and what he can do and everything like that. So
okay.
It's like every time I watch it, I'm like, okay, no, I gotta wait. And then after that, I'm like, okay, we're good. Now let's watch the next one. Yeah. So... But I mean, it's so interesting, and I guess really, maybe because I enjoy cooking and looking at the ideas of what they do and how they do things, I'm like, is that even possible? Because if it is, that'd be pretty cool. Because they do some crazy things in there. I mean, even from the first episode, that was some just absolute crazy as far as cooking, being able to make them. It continually follows along that same line, where he just keeps like improvising and making dishes that you would not necessarily have expected, and they end up turning out like absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
I mean, everyone still has kind of that same orgasmic reaction to a degree. It's not nearly as bad as the first one that happened, but it's still pretty up there. But yeah, it's still to a degree. So I really enjoy it, and it's a very interesting. If here again, if you're not up on, watching the same old from your animes and you want something different, you want something new, this would definitely be one of those because, yeah, they kind of have some of the same tropes as a few animes out there, but the whole overall storyline and how it's presented and everything that happens is unique onto itself. So there again, cannot get done highly recommending this one quite nearly enough. So
cool. All right. Well, the next show that I have is Owari no Seraph.
I'm watching this one too, and I'll at least say this a little bit. I'm watching this one too, and I can't. It starts to lose my interest, and then they do one thing, and I'm like, okay, you gained a little bit of interest back, and then I'll watch it again. I'm like, okay, you're starting to lose my interest again. And it's like it's a tug of war. I swear, it's a tug of war, and I'm like, stop it. Do something like amazing and keep it there. Don't go back and forth. You're
Yeah.
And I mean, it's obvious what's going to happen too as you're watching it. You're like, they're gonna meet those two characters, the vampire guy and the other kid. They're gonna meet.
Yes.
It's gonna happen.
Yes.
It's just a matter of time.
Yes.
So it's like, how is this gonna play out? Who's gonna do what?
Yeah.
So, anyways, go ahead though.
So,
now that I've pretty much said everything, but anyways, go
ahead. So, animation wise, love it. It is gorgeous. Story wise, I can already see it. It's predictable. It's like nobody's gonna die. Like a lot of shows are like, no, don't worry, nobody's gonna die because that'll be sad, and we don't want our viewers to be sad. So we'll scare them a bit, but then we'll make it all good at the end. And I can't get invested because I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of like the tug of war too, but it's like a little one. It's like, oh, are they gonna do something different? No, they didn't. Oh, they gotta do something different? No, they didn't. Okay.
Yep.
Whatever.
I mean, they have little tidbits, little things. You're like, that's cool. That's interesting. I like that. I mean, the whole thing with like the demon possessed blades and swords and weaponry and everything. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you have like an amplified weapon, and in vampire animes in general, you never really see anyone using anything except for like maybe a slightly technologically advanced weaponry or something. Yeah. But the fact that they're actually using like mystically advanced weaponry stuff, I'm like, that's cool. That's different. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's vampires and demons.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I've never really thought of that kind of mix or seen something that has done that before.
No, which is a really cool concept.
Yeah. And
but their application of that concept is a little lacking.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just me. Let me ask you this. I don't know if it's just me. Does it seem like they cannot decide whether or not the main character is like going to be a superpower badass or not? Does it seem like that? Because it seems like on one hand, he starts showing like, oh, he's really powerful. Then the next minute you're like, well, nope, he's not powerful anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Does it seem like that to you?
Yeah. And I don't know. I guess for him, because he does that, my focus isn't really on him. I'm kind of just, that's that dude over there. And I'm focusing, focusing more on all like the other characters, like his friend that he made in just one episode. I'm like, is something going to happen to him? And I'm like, well, not really, because a lot of stuff happened to other people towards the beginning of the series. So you can't just keep doing stuff to the main character over and over throughout the whole series. So, and then they're building up to this one thing towards the end that they're, as soon as you see the guy, you're like, oh, well, yeah. Episode 11, they're finally gonna see each other, and I'm like, oh, But I do like that all of a sudden everything's escalating. Like,
Yeah, I mean, and things are they're really starting to amp up and everything, and a lot of like battle situations are presenting themselves and everything. But I'm I'm still just yeah. I'm current on it. I'm current on it. So
so when they were in that Hummer, I
yeah.
guess, and they ran into that one dude, and he's like, "No, watch out!" That was cool because there was such a huge difference between them and him.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be good." And they're like, "No, no, 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 let's save
Yeah,
it."
we're not gonna do that.
Yeah,
We're
let's
not,
save
I'm
that
like,
for later. Because I was genuinely worried.
yeah, I'm like,
I'm
this is
like,
gonna be
oh,
cool. I
I'm
mean,
like, oh, we about to lose somebody.
and she even said like we can take them, but we're probably gonna lose some people in the
Yeah,
process. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna get really cool and interesting. And they're like,
yeah,
no, we're not gonna do that.
yeah. So I'm pretty sure that this series is gonna go another season.
Probably.
But they better meet in this season at least, because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So even though it is predictable and it's the tug of war between them, like do something interesting and not, there are still some really cool parts.
Which is why it's why I said I get that interest and they start to lose me. And then I get that interest and I start to lose me. And I'm like, stop tug of warring with my emotions. Good Lord, stop it.
So as predictable as it is, I still recommend it because it looks really good and they have there's some really cool parts that'll keep you interested at least.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got for that.
Well, I guess next on my list is Grisaia no Rakuen.
Yes. And I am caught up. I watched the OVA, which I thought was another season, and I caught up on all the 8 or 9 episodes. I think it's 8 that I caught up on. And the 9's already out, but yeah.
No, they're only up to 7.
Oh, 7?
Yeah.
Did I watch 6? Huh.
They're up to 7 right now. What is the last thing you had on yours?
CG Girl. Like,
I like how you're trying to refer to that, not to spoil anything for anybody. Anything,
that pissed me off so
yeah,
much.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
Oh.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess.
Kind
But anyway, where you at?
of. That just her episode.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen a little bit past that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the next episode is kind of one of those. I mean, it's just the build up to what is you probably know it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of that. It's like right before they're about to go. Okay, let's go do this.
Yeah.
That's when they cut the next episode. So it's like okay.
Okay.
But it's really good for everyone out there. If you watch the previous season to this, it's really interesting. It's really cool.
Way different.
It is, but at the same time, it's just delving more into the. I mean, the OVA definitely give you the backstory to the main character, the guy.
Yeah.
But this one is really allowing you to see. It's kind of like saying the OVA. I'm glad they did it because then it's like you understand why what's happening now in the series is happening.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, yeah, his past is catching up with him, and a whole bunch of weird things are happening. And you kind of understand more about his mentality as far as why he's kind of allowing things to happen, doing the things that he's doing, even though I'm kind of with the girls and going, no, don't.
Yeah.
But at least CG Girls is trying to help make that not happen at the same time.
Okay.
Because that's why all of this is going on with the girls and her at the same time, so...
So, as far as the OVA goes, I'm trying to figure out why they even made that its own separate thing. I'm like, is it because of the content that was in it and they couldn't put that on TV?
Uh,
Because
I don't know. Maybe that way, but I think they really had a whole bunch of. I mean, because what? It's almost an hour long, I guess.
yeah, so it could have been 2 episodes.
Eh, I don't know. I mean, it seems because I mean they picked up this series almost right where the previous series left off. It pretty much just continued, rolled right into
Yeah,
it. So if they put it in there the way they did that, I almost feel like it would have been kind of a hiccup. It wouldn't necessarily have allowed you to really like go into. I mean, obviously you need to know the content for the OVA to really understand this series.
yeah,
But at the same time, if you know, you could almost, I can almost say you could almost watch the OVA first, then watch the first season, and then roll right into the second season.
okay.
And that would almost kind of give you a better feel for it, I guess.
It's like I want to say yeah, but the whole interview, like the whole
Yeah.
interview thing, how they kind of switch back between the past and the present, and then at the beginning of the season they still went back. So
That's what I
I
said.
don't.
You almost can do that as far as that goes. But I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know. Maybe just like you said, maybe the content was just a little bit much because that content was. Oh my god.
yeah. Oh, and I guess with the sister, she seemed older in the OVA than she did in the um
The first season.
yeah, in the first season.
I can see that.
'Cause
She was definitely interesting, though. I can say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
She was definitely interesting.
So yeah, so when
Even in the OVA, I'm like, oh my god. But I mean, even in the second season, she still references because you remember his question to say if it was really her,
oh
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
why? Why? No.
I,
I can understand sibling love, but not to that extent. Not to that extent.
yeah, I think it's I don't know. I feel like she's way older now than she was in the first season. And I'm not sure if it's because you were dealing with a whole bunch of other characters and she kind of had this smaller part and then now she has more of a dominant part. But then also feel like with her in the OVA, the way that she was acting,
Mm-hmm.
the age fit, I guess. But I don't know, because like the version of her that I really liked from the first season seems too young to be what it is now. So I don't know. It just that's the only thing that I'm well, and then also like how she is, but but yeah, they don't mesh together. So
Yeah, you ain't whistling Dixie because she's. I'm looking at it going, good lord! But that whole thing is just all sorts of messed up.
yeah,
It really is.
I think one episode, maybe episode 5 or something like that, ended with a scream because he had the gun and he saw something and he was like, ah!
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I immediately had to go to the next episode. So with this show, I have to watch it big chunks because I can't watch it week to week. Like I gotta get my feel and be like, oh my god, this is amazing, and then just put it off for a second because the way if I would have had to wait a week from that scream, oh my god, I. Mm-mm. So the one weird thing is, I thought that because I think at the end of the last season, I thought that Make You was another season that would be coming after Rakuen,
Mhm.
and now that's the OVA that comes in between the two. Is it really gonna end in 4 episodes?
I don't know.
Hope not.
Well, it almost the way they're gearing it up to, it seems like it might, but I don't know.
Ah, this is a show that I definitely have to give a second watch because it was so good. And then all the stuff that I know now, watching it in the beginning and like knowing all that knowledge with all
I
that.
mean, like I said though, is like the next episode's kind of the prep work in between when you pretty much know what the girls are about to do anyways.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can already see hints of how they're about to wrap things up.
Hmm.
So I'll just have to see how things pan out. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. If they ended the next 4 episodes or so, I'm definitely watching this thing all over again because I love it. Highly, highly, highly recommended.
This is definitely for a mature audience, though.
Yes, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
If you don't like some heavy issues or mature content or anything like that, do not watch this.
Yeah.
But if you're good with that and you want to see some more mature audience type material for your anime, give it a watch.
Yeah.
So
This is probably the least harem-like harem anime.
Because
Because if you think about it, there's like one main guy and 2 minor guys, and everybody else is women.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but I mean at the same time, it's like he cares about him. He just doesn't care about him in that way, even though all the girls care about him in that way.
Yeah.
But he's totally just like, whatever, I'm good.
Yeah.
So it's a refreshing take on something like that. But anywho, moving on.
Last but not least.
Oh, definitely not least. This is not least in my book at all.
Dungeon. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try for that one either. So.
Yeah, is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
I appreciate, even from the get-go, I appreciated this anime for the pure fact of it's nice. Yeah, I don't see too many of these. I mean, they're out there, but I guess maybe I don't see them or whatever. But to see the underdog anime,
Yes.
you know what I'm talking? Because here is this guy who is just bottom of the barrel. He has nobody who really appreciates him. No one really thinks much of him. He's a weakling. He's a wuss. And here he is exceeding and excelling and doing all sorts of, he's going through trials. Don't get me wrong about that. He is definitely going through trials. But at the same time, he handles them as well as he possibly can, and he pulls through. So, as Big D will attest to, the 2 episodes back, I watched that one, and I don't normally get overly hyped and excited over animes. And don't get me wrong, I get excited for them, but to me, when I'm excited, really excited for one, that's when I'm sitting here watching them, and I'm like, yes, that is on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, I was doing that 2 episodes back when I watched, and Big D knows that part now, is when I watched that one. And oh my God. I watched it like 2 or 3 times over, that section of that part there, and I'm like, yes, it was so beautiful. It was so awesome. As professionally done as that was, and then it was just beautiful at the end where it's just like that intense moment, and then everything just goes quiet, and you're like, dude, I'm like, hats off to you. Just hats off to you. You gave it your all, and you came out on top of that so beautifully.
Yes. I'd say this battle is up there with my top favorite battles.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though I'd say it probably wasn't as long as, well, I don't know.
I mean, if you take it from when the whole battle started, from when he was still struggling with it, no, it was a pretty long one because he was struggling with that for a while before he got the the motivation he needed to be able to push through at the end.
Yeah.
Just
It's
yeah.
I can't.
Just the reactions of the people watching, I'm like, oh, those are beautiful.
Yes.
Because you have these hardcore professional adventurers who are now standing back in awe of your capabilities and just going, oh my God, did he really just do that?
Yeah.
You know, and even the girl that he's kind of trying to get with or whatever. And you know, that last part where because she had said something about, you know, it's hard to cut into the flesh of that. And all of a sudden he just does what he does. And she's even that
Yeah.
even slight wide-eyed expression that she had. And I'm like, you're even impressing her with that.
Yeah.
Because that's a move she didn't probably think you could do.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, and I think even in the next episode, everybody's all jealous. They're like, "Oh my, I gotta do something now!" Like that. I just saw blew my mind. I
love that in the next episode when when all the parties that were going on that adventure teamed up, and the party that he showed that teamed up with them, and the other guys on the charge of the other party are like, "Why is everybody so fired up?" And even she jumps down there. The girl that she's trying to the girl that the guy's trying to get with, she jumps down there like, wow, even she's fired up. And I'm like, oh yeah, because now they're like, there's somebody who has some skills out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anyone out there, if you have if you enjoy a good adventure, mythic, or of fantasy nature type anime, this is a good watch. But 2, if you enjoy having to root for the underdog, and at least up to this point, I know he has been succeeding to an extent, then absolutely watch this one, because just, oh my God, cannot recommend that highly enough.
Yeah, and
my only hiccup, and I'm sorry I keep cutting you off on this, but my only hiccup, though, I have to say, is the goddess. Not his goddess, but the other one. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh.
I'm a little just like, why is you're making it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if she's the bad guy, then you're really not doing a good job, and just being overt about that. And if she's not the bad guy, then what the hell's going on?
Yeah, because I'm like, I feel like she's doing something in reverse.
Yeah, I really do.
She's like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then he's beating that, and all the good people are like, yeah. And then she, which is not a good person, she's like, yeah, too. So I'm like, no. No.
What are you doing here?
You messed up your plan, right? I don't know.
I mean, unless she's trying to, like, subvert him or something,
And
or...
I feel like it could be because he's gullible.
He is gullible. He is gullible, but I mean, he's so nice. You just don't... You're like, and it's it can be a flaw and whatever to be too nice and too trustworthy, but you're like, because with his partner, the little girl, I'm like, yes, that was being gullible, but it paid off. It panned out.
Yeah. So
you can't necessarily fault him for that.
Yeah.
Because you're like, yeah, you're kind of gullible, but you make friends and you do the good thing and the good deeds that way. So,
if I think about it as far as other shows too, like the main character who's the underdog and works his way up, or somebody who does good, they have their own gullible side too.
Yeah.
Like you have the hero who can't kill, so the villain's like, oh, I'm gonna take advantage of that, or.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, I guess.
I'm hoping that the way they're building this up, that he doesn't have, it's not the tragic hero. Because he has the hero thing going now.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping it ain't gonna be the tragic hero. Let's not go into that trope there where he builds himself up and he's this like such a great guy and then something happens and he just falls. I really would hate to see that happen here, and it's a possibility. So I'm not 100% sure what's gonna happen, but we'll see.
And I do like how, in a way, he's kind of overpowered, but
it's because he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Which is one of the greatest things. His goddess is keeping that information from him, but she has to keep the information from him because that's the only way his ability works.
Yeah.
If he understands how it works, it negates it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the most interesting thing about that.
Mm-hmm. And then I still don't have it, like, even the last time, I still don't have a scale of, like, strength. I feel like the normal scale that shows usually do will be at the beginning, you go a little bit, and then there's this big leap, and you're like, oh, well, I kind of jumped far, so I got to, like, go way past that, and everything's just getting this gigantic scale. As with this one, people take months to go up levels.
Yep.
And in a couple episodes, he'd go up. He's like, oh my God, I went up a level. I'm on level 2. And I'm like, wait.
But see, they understand how big and significant that is, because most people would go, that's not significant. What the hell are you talking about? You went to level 2. Anyone who plays games with it, you're like, how easy is it to go to level 2?
Yeah.
But when the fact that the girl that he is really pining for, they even said she took a year to get to level 2.
Yeah.
And he took a month.
Yeah.
That's why everyone's just in awe of his and jealous of his abilities, because it's like
And then she was
growing.
way more powerful. Like, she's a lot stronger than everybody else.
She's at least a couple levels above that. She has to be. I mean, if the scale is going in that direction, I'd have to say she's probably like maybe level 5. I want to say.
Well, I'm saying, like, her compared to all the regular people, she is super powerful. Like,
oh yeah, no,
really
she
strong
is.
compared to everybody else. And then he, I guess, is 12 times as fast.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. I really like how all the numbers are small, and like there's different tiers of numbers, because I feel like it'll be rank 2, maybe not level 2, but like rank 2 as far as skills, and then there was something like a class letter for his skills or something like that. So I'm like, there's all these stats. Somebody give me a chart, and I'm like, so I'm like, okay, he's rank 2. Which probably means like he gains XP faster or something like that, but he's actually level 17 and like his skills are this class. I'm like, I don't.
Well, I guess I kind of see it because they break it down according to, I think the levels are based upon his skills.
Mm.
So since he really doesn't have much in the way of skills, that's why his level is as low as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But his physical stats are all top tier.
Yeah.
All his actual physical stats are probably on par or close to on par with the girl.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the fact that she has more experience.
Yeah.
Is the reason why she outdoes him. But if the way it keeps going the way it's going, he might be able to exceed that. So
yeah,
we'll have to see.
I'm trying to think. So the first time he had a big fight, he was trying to save the goddess. Mm-hmm. He was running from that thing. And then other than that, he didn't really have
but he keeps going back into that dungeon and keeps doing, facing, they're probably weaker, I want to say, but he faces so many of them.
Yeah.
And he keeps doing it for such a length of time, because there was that one ep where he went into the dungeon at night and then came back in the morning. So he did an all-nighter throughout the entire night And he came back bloody, bruised, and limping, but he still came back.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think, like, as far as like like, even if he does that, he still doesn't get a huge boost in XP.
No.
I'd say for like the part when he was running, trying to save the goddess, he got his new weapon that, like, I'm trying to think like the big changes that usually he would outclass a bunch of people. Like if it was another show and they do their whole training montage and then he'd have a new skill, he kind of like outclass a bunch of characters, and then you'd find a bunch of villains and stuff like that, and then he'd outclass those villains, and then he just gradually keep going higher villains, but then all the regular characters get left behind. Whereas in this one, which I really love, is he was at the bottom.
Yeah.
And after that fight and he gets his weapon, he jumps to us. We're following him, and he jumps a lot in skill, and he has this really cool weapon. But then compared to everybody else, he's still way down there.
Oh, yeah.
And then he goes, because he knows that he's going into the dungeons and all that kind of that stuff like that, pulling all-nighters, getting beaten up and everything. But it's not really making like a huge jump until, what's the name?
Trains him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Then he starts being more efficient. And then, what's the name's like, hey, let's go to this level. And all of that stuff happened. And he jumps another level. And then with this last big fight, he jumps enough to where everybody else is worried about him.
Yeah, now that he actually jumped to a point where everyone's actually beginning to notice him and being like,
yeah,
this guy could be someone up and coming, they're like, okay, yeah, this could be interesting.
Yeah, so I love how this...
Yes.
I love the way this is paced. So
yes, absolutely.
Highly. I want another season.
Absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely. Who did this one?
I want to say... I don't want to say A1. No.
So whoever did this one, whoever you are, you need to jump on this. Keep this train rolling. Because you're building up momentum and you're building up steam. Let's keep it rolling because, yeah, this can be a series for a good while, and I'd still watch it.
Yeah, this is JC Staff.
Oh, absolutely, JC Staff. Y'all out there, if you even happen to watch this for whatever reason, jump on it. Because we're popular, we can do that.
Love it.
Keep it going. Keep it going. So,
all right. Well, that's been all the shows that we are still watching this season. And so we will be back next time. See ya.